Today can be the turning point in your life by making a simple decision.
Fundamental questions of navigation. Where am I? Where am I going? And how do I get there from here?
I invite the leaders of our planet to ask themselves these three questions before they make any crucial decisions.
But if you don't make decisions, you're going to stay right where you are.
We are all map makers.
We are in a time of transition.
If we're going to change, we have to change the direction that we're going.
Our planet needs leaders who know where they want to go.
When we change the direction we're going, then we want to make sure we're going in the right direction.
Leaders who can see the big picture.
Because if we're not, we're going to either go backwards or we're going to stay where we are.
Recognizing the psychological and the spiritual shifts and changes that need to be made, often from the inside to the outside.
To be able to shape your future, you have to be willing and able to change your paradigm.
Complex journeys require navigation. The path to the truth is one such journey. This is your GPS. Hairstyling services provided by J.D. Edwards Salon and Spa, Palmdale Shopping Plaza, Ladera Street. Accessories provided by Chevette Williamson Jewelry. Standout jewelry for standout women. Good afternoon, Bahamas. Welcome to GPS, Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. I am your host, Michelle Malcolm. As always, it's a pleasure to be in your company today. Thank you so much for tuning in and making GPS a part of your afternoon routine. So today's Tuesday. We're looking at a Hot Topic Tuesday today. What's trending in the Bahamas? And boy, the big story you all know. The pharmacies, privately owned pharmacies, have shut down in the midst of an ongoing battle between themselves and the government of the Bahamas as it relates to price control. Unless you're living under a rock, you know that the government of the Bahamas announced that effective today, price controls will be set on certain items in the food store, in 38 categories of items, as well as on pharmaceuticals. And there has been some pushback from the Bahamas Pharmaceutical Association as well as the Retail Grocers Association members, because they are saying that if the government doesn't sit down and discuss this with them, they could be causing a lot of businesses to close and a lot of people to lose their jobs, etc., because they just cannot sustain these new price control measures that the government is implementing as of today. Now, they were asked, from what I understand, to put in a counter proposal or a suggestion, list of suggestions to the government. And I'm advised that in the case of the Pharmaceutical Association, that was submitted on the 27th of October, but they did not receive any kind of response or acknowledgement from the government of the Bahamas. And so they took it upon themselves to go to the office of the Prime Minister, seeking to have an audience with the Prime Minister with regard to this issue. Jason, I need you to go ahead and play our first clip for the show. These are members of the association standing outside the Prime Minister's office, having been there for a couple of hours without any resolve. Let's go to that clip.
Members of the Pharmaceutical Association has met outside the office of the Prime Minister today, asking for a meeting with the Prime Minister. We've been here since 8 a.m. It is now after 10 p.m. We've had 10 a.m. We've had no word as to when we would be able to meet with the Minister or the Prime Minister. We have asked them to reconsider the margins that have been given to us to run our businesses, which are below operational costs. We would not be able to pay our bills, pay our staff, pay our electricity bill, pay real property tax, pay shipping charges or anything until we have margins, and we won't be able to pay back or return to the government what they are due until we can see the Prime Minister. So we are standing here outside of the office of the Prime Minister waiting. It's been 2 hours, and we have not been given any word as to when he would be able to see us. We are here with the president of the Bahamas Pharmaceutical Association, as well as many of the executives and retail and wholesale store owners.
All right, so clearly they didn't get the type of response that they were looking for. And as of yesterday, this statement was issued. It says, this is from the Bahamas Pharmaceutical Association. And the statement says, the association has complied with Minister M. Halkitis' request to offer recommendations to achieve economic relief for the nation on October 21, 2022. Sorry, not the 27th, but October 21. The document was sent as a response to a lack of consultation from the government with the pharmacy industry on the Price Control Regulation Amendment 2022. Our document, the document was sent. Hold on, I just lost the thing I was reading from. Let me pull that back up again. So their document was sent apparently on October 27th. So it says our document sent on October 27th, 2022 has not received a response to its contents, nor has our request for further discussion been acknowledged. Therefore, the Bahamas Pharmaceutical Association has made the decision to advise its membership that it is their best interest for pharmacies within the Commonwealth of the Bahamas to close our doors temporarily commencing November 1, 2022. We value your customers and will advise a reopening date as soon as possible to provide your customers with the excellent service they deserve. We note the need to ensure patient care and request that in case of an emergency, patients contact their nearest public clinic or Princess Margaret Hospital. We hope you unite with us in this movement, and God bless the Bahamas. Signed, Shantia McBride, President of the Bahamas Pharmaceutical Association. So that, it seems, was sent out to members of that association. And then we started to see postings from various pharmacies that, due to unforeseen circumstances, it says, to our valued customers, unforeseen circumstances has forced our store to close temporarily. We will reopen soon to provide you with the excellent service you deserve. In case of an emergency, please contact your nearest public clinic or public hospital. We apologize for any inconvenience caused. So it seems that the pharmaceutical pharmacies have all united, privately owned pharmacies, because we saw notification after notification after notification, all within the same, carrying the same narrative, the same language, that they were in fact temporarily closed. So in response, the government issued this statement. It says, press release from the Ministry of Health and Wellness. Let me make this a little bigger so I can see it better. It says, in the wake of the recent announcement by the Bahamas Pharmaceutical Association, the Ministry of Health and Wellness wishes to advise the public that the following clinics will be available for the accessibility of pharmaceutical drugs. Elizabeth Estates Clinic, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Flamingo Gardens Clinic, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Fleming Street Clinic, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. for the Fleming Street Clinic. South Beach Health Center, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Exuma Primary Care Center, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Family Island residents should visit their community clinics for all pharmaceutical needs as usual. Dated October 31, 2022. Ministry of Health and Wellness, Commonwealth of the Bahamas. So this is what you call a standoff, people. Everybody playing hardball. Pharmaceutical industry has united, and they have determined that they are not going to take this lying down. Their argument is that there was no consultation prior to the decision being made, and all they wanted, or all they want, is dialogue so that they can, together with the government, come up with a solution for which everyone can be happy to whatever degree that is possible in this scenario. The government, apparently, as it stands, has decided that they are moving forward. They gave them notice that these changes would go into effect today. And from what I'm understanding, those who do not comply could be fined. So this, people, is what we call a game of chess. You move, I move. You move, I move. The only challenge is the ones who are going to be impacted the most by this game of chess between the government and the pharmaceutical industry. And from what I'm hearing, unless something changes, the grocers may take the same approach from what I'm hearing. So word to the wise, go get whatever grocery you need to get now, just in case this continues to go south. So according to the Pharmaceutical Association members, they just want dialogue so that they can figure out a better way where their profit margins aren't so diminished that they cannot function effectively as a business. The government, on the other hand, has put out there that they are hoping to find ways to bring relief to the Bahamian public, understanding that we are all facing tough economic times. And so in their estimation, this is one way to assist the public by putting price controls on certain items, including pharmaceutical drugs. So here we are in the midst of this impasse. And quite frankly, this is a very frightening position to be in, particularly if you are sick and need a particular pharmaceutical drug to keep you alive. There are certain people who are dealing with certain conditions. Asthma, for instance. You would need, if you're in the midst of an asthma attack, you would need immediate relief. And imagine you ran out, and today you find yourself in a position where you can't get that immediate relief because all of the pharmacies are closed. So now you have to go to a government agency to hopefully get the medication that you need. And I say hopefully, because it could very well be a case where that particular government agency doesn't have that particular medication that you need in stock. So this is a very serious situation, people. This is no light-hearted matter. This is a very, very serious situation. truly, without being dramatic, this is a matter of life and death for some people. And so we're going to talk about this issue today, whether or not you believe that it had to come to this, whether you believe the pharmacy owners are being unreasonable, whether you believe the government should have consulted them before making such a drastic move or making such an announcement. This is what we're going to be talking about today. The telephone numbers to call 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272. Those are the numbers to call. The WhatsApp number for text messages only is 801-0271. 801-0271. We have a caller on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
God bless. Good afternoon to you, Michelle. How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Caught right in the middle of the thick of the situation.
Now you understand why I've been trying to get y'all to get healthier?
And Michelle, I went to one of those pharmacies today not knowing that they were going to be closed today.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh no, wow. And I'm going to need to speak with you off air because I need to get a particular health product that I couldn't get from the pharmacy today because they are closed.
Wow.
Michelle, there is merit at face value on both sides of the fence because it's true that the public does not need any more pressure on its pocketbook. It is also true, and I always support that government should always sit down with all stakeholders and talk about the issues. And if that is all as the pharmaceutical industry is saying that they really truly wanted to do or principally wanted to do, the government should have wanted that. What's the harm in sitting down and talking with them? I mean, if the government would have gone ahead with this price control edict today, I believe if the government had sat down and spoken with them, maybe the pharmaceutical industry might not have been as annoyed or upset as it is, and maybe the businesses still would have been open. So this is the catch-22.
I think they want more than talk. They want compromise.
Oh yeah, but you see,
they could go and have conversation, and if they don't get any relief from that conversation, they still gonna be the same position they were in before the conversation started. So they're looking for compromise.
I'm only responding to what I heard. Your clips were saying a while ago. They wanted a conversation. That's what they really sold.
Right.
But the thing here is, Michelle, at the end of the day, the government really should sit down with all stakeholders on any particular issue to get the views of the stakeholders on no matter what the issue is and no matter how the government position may look, because again, it is laudable at face value that the government wants to keep prices down. But the hotel industry, for example, now they're looking forward to sitting down and speaking with the government in respect to the same essential issue.
Right.
And they are now the hotel industry is wanting to look at ways of maybe the government giving them tax breaks and or alternative means of energy to power their facilities in lieu of the what they call it the hike in minimum wage, the BPL, subsidy, costs going up, etc., etc., etc. So at the end of the day, Michelle, everybody needs to survive. But the question is, what is going to break in order for the public to survive, Michelle? Is it that the government is going to tell the pharmaceutical industries, well, we'll take our foot off your neck, so to speak, so you can breathe? Or is it that the pharmaceutical industry say, well, we're going to bite the bullet, we're going to fire a few people so that we can at least stay above water. Something has to break. And it doesn't look good on anybody's side, or I hope it isn't a matter of ego or political ego on the side of the government. That's why they're not wanting to sit down and talk with the pharmaceuticals. But, Michelle, this thing has really got to come to a quick and fair and proper resolution.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like you mentioned just a while ago, this is a dangerous situation because the health of so many people are in the balance.
Mm.
And I don't think. Oh, this is a tough one, Michelle. It's hard to really take sides on the issue on any side of the issue. It's hard to really take sides.
Right.
But the government really should sit down and talk with the pharmaceutical industry players and find out their concerns to see what could be arranged otherwise.
Okay.
Because the government doesn't know it all, and the government's decisions aren't always the right ones.
All right. We have another caller. Thank you so much for calling,
And
JT.
I'd like to speak with you otherwise, Michelle, because I really need a product that I've been hearing you advertise, which I went to get today and couldn't get because of this situation.
Make sure you leave your telephone contact with my producer.
I will do that.
Caller, welcome to GPS.
Hi, Michelle. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. A bit upset or concerned, I should say. I'm sorry to hear about your plight, JT. But you know, I support the government in its effort when it comes to looking out for the Bahamian people.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, the way you go about doing things and the way how you maneuver, you understand, and negotiate whatever is another thing.
Mm-hmm.
But anytime a government seeks relief on behalf of its people, I will support that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I try to listen to a lot of what the ladies had to say, the pharmacists, on the show this morning, and some of their reasonings. I'm sure they have their, when they break it down or whatever, have you, right?
Mm-hmm.
But doesn't the government, don't they have they have tax, some sort of breaks or some arrangements with these pharmaceutical companies?
When you say some sort of arrangement, what do you mean?
Like the way with shipping costs or duty or whatever type exemptions that with businesses, certain businesses that they have, and the arrangement that they do have with the national medical, with the pharmacy, the medical insurance program plan that they have with them, because a lot of persons, can go and get their medications from the pharmaceutical companies.
You're talking about national health insurance?
Yeah, the medical plan, part of it,
Mm-hmm.
right? But see, that part in there should be no exceptions with them having to take it upon themselves to just completely shut the country down from their services.
Mm-hmm.
Just as I felt when the doctors and nurses do things like this, it affects it's our health. It's the health. Persons can maybe die from not getting the medications or whatever today because of them not being open. And I think they should have been. My thing is, yes, you sent a letter respond to the government, right? They didn't respond. It took them over a week or whatever. They didn't respond as yet. So you're gonna just announce last night. You put it out there that you're closing down all of you. Then, like you said, just as like a domino effect. Everyone is announcing that they're closing down the pharmacies.
Mm-hmm.
That's a disservice to us. And every time something happens in this country, the people, the poor people, the Bahamian people are the ones that suffer.
Because you're the pawn. Remember now, I said this is a chess game.
Exactly.
You are the pawns.
And I don't think we should be used as pawns when it comes to our health. I think that should be an exception. And for those people to go do the talk show route Okay, state the grievances and say, we this and we that, we have to work so hard, and our bottom line, it's affecting our bottom line. And to go and stand and camp out in front of the Prime Minister's office, right? Have breakfast or whatever they want to do out there, waiting on the Prime Minister, while people like JT, like other persons I've heard from this morning, who went, didn't even know, not advanced, no. See, my thing is, okay, you didn't get a response. Couldn't you have waited a little longer to at least get the Bahamian people who is really affected? Let me tell you something. The Prime Minister, I'm sure he has his medications. The leader of the opposition, these people, they have the means, they have their medications. It's us. And I don't understand. I don't think these people, I don't see how they expect for us to support them and say, okay, you all are concerned about your bottom line, so we support you all in shutting down your businesses. You understand? Michelle, let me tell you something. Some of my family's medication is $1,000 for one medication. Like you say, make sure to take care of your body when you're younger, especially, and then it become a lifestyle change because you pay for it. Some medications are $1,000, some over $200.
Right.
You understand? And these are not covered
Right.
in the National Medication Prescription Plan. You understand? These pharmacies are the ones that supplies for these medications. They are shutting their doors and closing down. Right? It's affecting a lot of people. A lot of people are borderline. They don't understand. I don't know if they. And these are supposed to be educated people. My thing is, I'm not going to get into all of the nuances and all of that, whatever. Right? But my thing is, I'm thinking about those persons because they're suffering. They're suffering. People can die because of their I call it selfishness. There are always ways and means that you go and you negotiate, the art of negotiation. They have their attorneys. They're the courts. But why don't they do the way they did during the COVID, Michelle? When they were allowed during the lockdown to open for half a day or a couple of days, right? They ran in, they did what they had to do, they serviced us, and they went home. Why can't they go back to that or cut hours? Say, well, Bahamian show public, we are we're going through this process with the government, right? We're going to open until 11 o'clock. We're going to open we're going to be closed tomorrow. You understand?
Because that wouldn't make a strong enough statement. They're trying to make a statement. They're trying to prove the point that we perform a vital service, and either you talk to us or we gonna play this.
And one more thing, and the government cannot just stand around like Mr. Alkita said today. There are laws in this country, and the laws has to be whatever, right? Obeyed or whatever he said.
Right.
You all have to make. We went through COVID. We went through a crisis in this country. Make provisions. You have to be in competition. You have to go right now. Make sure the supply is the supply is there for the demand. We have the outlets. We need more on the Family Islands. What about those Family Islands do not have access now to medication? You understand? You all have the inside contact when you go whatever, fly to somewhere where you all can negotiate, where you all can send medications, supplements, or whatever, so that these hospitals, the clinics can be equipped so that these people, these big pharma people, cannot continue to hold the Bahamian people hostage, because that is exactly what they're doing. They're making money. I don't want to hear what they talk, but they don't make it, because ain't nobody into a business not to make money. You understand? So you're making money.
I got another caller that's been waiting for a little while. Thank you so much. I want to read a statement from one of our Facebook viewers real quick, and then I'll go to this next caller. Charles says they don't need to be so reactionary. They're making a killing privately. You can get a Parasol tablet for 5 cents real cost, and when purchased from them, it costs almost $1. I am in the healthcare business and know they are making a killing. Now we're going to hear in a minute, a voice note that's been making its rounds from someone in the pharmaceutical industry who would argue against that, Charles. But for the moment, let's go back to the phone lines. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Hello, good day, Lady Malcolm. How you doing?
Excellent. How are you?
Wonderful. Until the Bahamian electorate realize that there is no difference between the Free National Movement and the Progressive Liberal Party, we will always be going through his foolishness. All they do is trade one for the next one, and both of them do the same thing to the Bahamian people. While I am sympathetic towards people like myself and people who need their medication, I feel sorry for the Bahamian people. Thanks for taking my call.
All right. You dropped that bomb and gone? Okay. Wow. You know, people, I can tell you all, I say it again. This is why I take issue with our system that does not encourage people to become healthier without having to rely on pharmaceuticals, because whenever you have to rely on any particular thing or service, you are slave to that. And you need to understand something that happens in this country. Most of these pharmacies aren't buying directly from the manufacturer. They're buying from a wholesaler, who, by the way, is also a retailer. Now, that is madness, but that is what we're allowing in this country. So the wholesaler really is in a very powerful position. If the wholesaler decides, and I'm not saying that only the wholesaler was involved in this decision by the Pharmaceutical Association members, because clearly they all had to vote for this. But if the wholesaler decides that he's going to stranglehold or put some kind of limitations on what because even the government buys from the wholesalers, they are holding you hostage. And so it makes sense for you to put as much emphasis or more into getting your population healthy than you are in pushing the pharmaceuticals. And again, I'm not in the business of trying to put anybody's business out of business. That's a lot of business, right? So clearly they have a role to play. But when you allow these people to put themselves in a position where they are really in control, where they can hold you hostage, you are putting the entire population at a disadvantage. And this is why we need to put equal emphasis on getting our population healthy. There are far too many of our people who are so sick that right now they're in a panic because they don't know how long these stores are going to be closed and they're running low on medication. It's crazy to allow any entity to put you in this kind of position. We have another call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Hello, Michelle.
Hi.
Good. You have no need to say anymore. You have me convinced now. I'm going to try to get healthy.
You better.
Because I got these chokers who are obviously on a selfish run with a selfish agenda. So, in fact, what they end up doing is trying to raise people's blood pressure with this nonsense. Listen, the pharmaceutical people and any business place, and everybody knows when you're in business to make money. When you get to the point where you are no longer making money, okay, then either you cut back or you get out of business. Mm-hmm. That's what capitalism is about. It's about survival of the fittest. We the people out here, we the ones who are going to suffer. Right. So now we need to start doing what we need to do to protect ourselves. We can't rely on them anymore. Mm-hmm. If it means getting healthier, if it means sourcing food and medicine and other things from other locations and importing it, we need to do what we need to do. Obviously, they're doing what they have to do. I think it's time for the Bahamian people to start pushing back on some of these merchants. Some of these stores, I will never support some of them again If you see me in some of them, it's only out of necessity. What I don't have to purchase from them, I will skip them, I will go over them, I will buy from someone else. Any business person who I feel is being unfair with me, I control my money.
Mm-hmm.
I will control my 2 cents. And if you jack me up today, when you finally get whatever little settlement you might get from the government and everything is hunky-dory with you, don't expect business to remain the same,
Mm-hmm.
because you would have destroyed certain level of goodwill with the people.
Right.
I mean, even these food stores, you hear from time to time government say they would give them concession on this item and that. They don't ever pass the thing on. I can't tell you the last time I went into a food store and saw the price of any item, anything, pick anything randomly, if the price went down.
No, sir, you don't see that in the Bahamas.
I've never seen it, not even when they get concessions.
Nope.
They refuse
It
to
don't seem
lower the
so.
prices.
It
They
don't
are
seem
hoarding the
so.
money.
They don't know nothing about rolling back no prices now. Not over here.
No, they just collect the concessions. They're not passing it on. And all that is part of the frustration that the Bahamian people are experiencing. Because they keep hearing government, let me give you concession here, we give you concession there. But when we go in the food store, you don't see it.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's complaining. The hotels, they don't want to pay their bill. They don't want to pay their light bill. Everyone's saying national insurance is going broke. The minute the government decides, okay, we're going to up that, and everyone can complain.
Mm-hmm.
We were saying BEC going break. Besides, when they determined they're going to up that, now everybody complains. The problem we're having in this country is nobody want to pay. We want things. We need the services, but nobody want to pay. Everyone in government want raises. They're demanding more money. But when it's time to collect money from different businesses or agents, everybody's pushing back. I don't know how everyone expects to get more from less.
Yeah.
So as Bahamians, we are the spread this whole thing around, and we all gonna have to bite some kind of bullet to make this thing work.
All right.
You have a good day.
Thank you so much for calling. We have another call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Malcolm,
Hi.
good evening. The big food store, them, they ain't gonna try that. The reason why they
Oh,
ain't
no
gonna
way.
try
Okay then. Okay. All right. You stay right there. You better get
No.
some food in your house.
See, there's too much mom and pop store around. The little independent store, them,
Caller,
they ain't gonna.
be wise and put some food in your house. A
And
word to the wise is sufficient.
what pharmacy them do this morning? It was really bad. They gotta go slow, but see, they know that the people them they get their medicine from October 1st to November 1st. That's a month supply. And now the people what need their medicine today, they can't even take it. You know, yes, say some people with sugar, diabetes, or whatever, they can't even take it or none of that because why? It's a month-to-month thing. So how could these people sleep the night? No, people must take some of these drugs and stuff like that just to keep them good. But if the government back down on these things, from since the government come and I look at it, everybody will come and everybody had their back to. Was when it was in the union, it was this one, the next one. Now you get the pharmacy, then you get the food store. Who next? This government being in the crisis from it coming, but they gotta stand up strong. Because if everybody come and they just back and throw up the hand, that means you sooner after the peanut boy can say, now if y'all don't do this what we can do. So they gotta stand up strong. These people making money, man. They making money. You see? But how is it? One drug to one pharmacy may cost $50. The next drug, same drug to the next pharmacy might cost $40. So it tell me they're making money, but it's just that they're using the Bahamian people as pawns. So we can hold you all if the government don't do this, and we see some of the medicine you all has come for. You all got to have this. So we will see what come of the meeting today. Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for calling. I want to read a comment from someone in one of the chats I'm in WhatsApp. It says oil prices go up and down, and we see it reflected at the pumps though sometimes questionably delayed. But do we see it reflected in the stores? Besides the regulated products, prices in the Bahamas tend to go up, but seldom do we see them go down. What message does this send to the public? Someone else is taking issue. Well, you know what? Let me quickly take a break. I can take this break. When we come back, we're actually going to hear from one pharmacy owner who explains what they are facing and why it is necessary for them to take this action. Stay with us. This is GPS.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Longevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 hyperimmune egg powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for rims, tints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Tracklight, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, all-terrain, and low-profile tires, cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Blessed love.
To stay healthy, it's crucial to make sure you get the nutrition you need every day. But it's difficult to get all your recommended vitamins and minerals from food alone. Even in the United States, 94% of people are deficient in at least one nutrient. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 by Longevity is a simple, convenient, and affordable way to help your body get the essential nutrients it needs. It's an advanced plant-driven multivitamin mineral complex that contains certified organic whole foods, trace minerals, and antioxidants. BTT 2.0 supports your body's natural defense system with a proprietary blend of energy-boosting and body-loving nutrients, plus prebiotics, probiotics, amino acids, and enzymes that support digestion. With an unusually high ORAC score of 8,000, you get even more antioxidants to help combat free radicals that can cause damage to your cells. But to get the most benefit and value from any multivitamin, your body must be able to break down the nutrients so you can fully absorb them. Otherwise, they'll just pass through your system without doing any good. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 was specially formulated with synergizing cofactors to ensure you get maximum nutrient absorption. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 is the easiest way to give your body the balance and complete daily vitamin mineral supplement it needs for optimal support of your overall health. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
This portion of GPS is brought to you by Tiki Bikini Hut at Junkanoo Beach. Great food, cool tropical drinks, and family fun in the sun.
Welcome back to GPS, Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. Michelle Malcolm in your company. On this Hot Topic Tuesday, we are looking at the impasse between the government of the Bahamas and the Pharmaceutical Association members who have closed their doors to the public today, meaning that if you are in urgent need of a medication that you didn't happen to replenish before today, at least for now, dog eat your lunch. The telephone numbers to call: 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272. The WhatsApp line for text messages only: 8010271, 8010271. Okay, so I want to read a couple of your comments, and then the Chamber of Commerce has just issued a statement, and I'm going to read that to you guys. Veronique says, of course they're making money. Nobody goes into business to not make a profit. It is unfair to just say they making money, but not take into account the overhead these businesses have to pay: staff, electricity, shipping costs, VAT, etc. All right, so towards that end, I'm going to play a clip now. This is a voice note. I don't know who the person is who is speaking, but this voice note has been making its rounds. And this is apparently a pharmacy owner or manager. I don't know who the person is, but they are in this clip making a case as to why it is necessary. I'll take it from here, Jason. Why it is necessary for this dialogue to happen between the government and the association members so that they can get an understanding of just how difficult it is, and how much more difficult it would become if their profit margin was slashed in such a manner. So listen to this.
So what the government wants to do, there's a profit margin set on purchasing any item. So we buy the item for whatever cost, and then we can mark it up. The markup for pharmacies is 50%. What the government is trying to do is reduce our markup to 35%. Likewise, for wholesalers who we buy from, their markup is 25%. The government is trying to reduce them to 15%. So the challenge with this is that the markup is actually what we run our businesses on. Because as a product-based industry, when I purchase an item from my wholesaler, I got to pay them for it. So if the item costs $1, I got to pay $1. I charge them $1.50. So now the government is telling me to charge $1.35. But that 50 was what I was using to pay my staff, pay my rent, pay my utilities. If you now cut me down to 35, that means 15% of whatever I used to pay before, I can no longer pay. So for most of us, I need to buy my inventory. So who's going to get cut? Is my staff going to get cut? Now the government turn around and say the light going up, the cost of light going up. So if I go ahead and I got to pay BPL because I got to make sure to keep the air conditioner on, I got to make sure to keep the fridge on. Because in order for me to take care of the medications and make sure they're okay, I have to keep these things on. So now, what am I going to do with this lost 15%? Something is going to have to give in order for me to keep up the standard. Or worse yet, let's say the wholesalers now, because they in the same boat. What if I can't afford to buy the medication for them? I still can't give my patient the service they need. And it's like, all we ask of the government, because they went ahead, made this decision, didn't talk to nobody, didn't ask nobody, nothing, because we could have told them. As a matter of fact, when we met with Halkitas, we offered to say, listen, we willing to come to the table with you all. We willing to figure out how can we lower prices or make things better for our patients. But they ain't hearing us. They ain't saying nothing to us. So now, unfortunately, like, we need to talk to the PM. That's all we're asking for. We need to talk to you. But according to Alcides, as of November 1st, we'll get fined. If we don't change our prices, we're going to get fined. And the fines are high. So at the end of the day, what are we going to do? It's a nasty, messy situation. We really just want to be able to negotiate. You understand? Come to the table and negotiate.
All right. So, you heard the case being made by the person in that voice note. She's saying plain and clear, we have to pay BPL, that price going up. We still got to pay VAT. We still got to pay staff. We got to pay this. We got to pay the next. Price is going up. But if you slash this, where, what are we to do? It's got to give somewhere. Because as we all know, like somebody pointed out, nobody goes into business to lose money. So are they justified, though, in taking the action that they have taken today? And if the government decides to relent as a result of that action, would that then put the government in a position where they are sitting ducks for any organization that wishes to come forward in the future and strong arm them? We have a caller. Yes, caller, welcome to GPS.
Yeah, I've been listening to your show, and it's good.
Thank you.
But what I don't quite get is where this problem whose foot it should fall at. It falls directly at the government foot, because all they had to do was to meet with the people. The thing about it is, the prime minister and all his colleagues, before election, they're looking for you. Now, all the people want to do is to meet with them and have a discussion, and they fail to show up. They fail to meet with us. That cannot be right. The government is not telling us what to buy it for, but they come and tell us what to sell it for. So they're running our business. Mm-hmm. And anytime the government come up with something, it's a cost. It's a cost to the business persons. Okay? There are so many losses in these businesses that most of the people who come on the show and talk have no knowledge with business, have no sense of business at all. Mm-hmm. And this is unfair to keep complaining about people who are experiencing difficulties, people who see the end of the road for their businesses, and they're trying to survive. They don't want to hurt nobody. No one wants to hurt anybody, either in the grocery business or the medication business.
Right.
So the government needs to wake up, get up, shake up, and meet with the people and get these things solved.
Are you a business owner? Do you own a pharmacy or a small food store or a big food store?
No, I don't, but I have business.
Okay.
So I know what it is.
Yeah. All right.
These people who come on the show and talking never own a business. Even a lot of those people in government never own a business. They go in the government now, they can tell you how to run your business, not what to buy it for. The government is actually running our business because it's telling us what to charge and what not to charge. We pay for a license. Okay, they give us a license to do business. Mm-hmm. Now they can come and tell me what to do, what not to do. BC going up, wages going up, everything is going up. Mm-hmm. All right? These people with these pharmacies, the air conditioning never cut off.
Yeah.
People who selling parts, the government need to go after them if they want money. People who selling numbers, the government need to go after them. They're collecting money. That's not a business or an investment. That's mm-hmm. a number business. Mm-hmm. They need these people who selling parts be on the shelf, be there for years. You buy they get their medicine, BC turn off, what happened? They lose a lot of money. All right? And the people who come on the show and talking, don't know what the hell they're talking. This stuff needs to stop. Bye. Thanks.
Thank you so much for calling. Is that another caller? Yeah. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Ms. Malcolm?
Yes, sir.
I hope you're doing well.
Hey, Professor. I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I listened to the clip from the unknown personality.
Mm-hmm.
Ms. Malcolm, I am wary of this kind of crap because if what you're saying is true, how come you're not standing behind it? You fail to identify yourself. See, I have a problem with that, you know.
Well,
I'll tell you why.
in all fairness, that person may have sent that to someone who they already knew and were in a private conversation or whatever, and then that person may have sent it out. So, in all fairness,
This
I
is
can't
where-
fault them for not identifying
You see why
themselves.
we have all kind of mix-up in this country?
Hmm.
When I speak publicly on an issue, I'm trying to get some information right now on some very important issues. I hadn't been able to go public with it because right now there is so much confusion. This one say this one say that, next one say that. All it does is adds to confusion. Trying to get accurate, precise information, as I've been trying to do for the last 50 years.
Hmm.
Ms. Malcolm, is very difficult. It is very, very difficult. Right now, I have to hold back on a number of things what I wanted to say publicly.
Hmm.
But see, once I say it publicly, I have the facts from credible sources. Now, that particular person, whoever said it, or they heard it from somebody, that person heard it from somebody and they repeat it.
Hmm.
That's where the problem comes in. When I speak publicly on the Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, I ain't going by no hearsay.
Hmm.
I go in by what the document says, and I'm not particularly interested in whether this person want to question it, that person. Fine, you go ahead and question it. Bring your proof. Bring the evidence, Miss Malcolm.
Hmm.
See, this is why our country is so mixed up, because always this one say this one say that, one say that. Where is the evidence? Now, I'm not saying the individual isn't saying what may be true. I don't know that.
Hmm.
I'm just hearing from an unknown entity certain comments. Whether it's credible or not, that's another issue.
Hmm.
And so, Ms. Malcolm, this is why you find in the country, everything is all kapunkel up, all mixed up, even with the Christian Council.
Hmm.
You have problems there as well, because the president said it himself. They're trying to get them together to deal with a particular issue. And there's this pulling and hauling, this one saying one thing, that one saying one thing, so you can't get anything together.
Right.
And it's sad that that's the way it is in our country today in 2022.
Hmm.
I'm very disappointed. I'm not saying, Ms. Malcolm, and please I don't want the public to misunderstand me. The Constitution allows for freedom of expression,
Hmm.
freedom to impart ideas, opinions without interference. I'm not dealing with that aspect of it. I'm talking about the credibility of the source or the voice or whatever source it might be. When you say these things to the public, you just throw it out. It only adds some more confusion because we don't know who it's coming from. You see what I'm saying, Ms. Malcolm?
I hear you.
Yeah, so that's what I have a problem with. Not with the fact that the particular person said what was said. Fine. But is the source credible? And that's why we have so much confusion.
I will tell you this, Professor,
Mm-hmm.
and I hope to get him on, or at least, if not him, someone else in his position on a future show. There was a gentleman, a grocery store owner from Long Island that appeared on Shanique Miller's show last week, I think it was. And he was talking about the challenges that the Family Island small retailers face.
Okay.
And many of the same arguments that we heard in that voice note are what he had to say. But in addition to that, they face even more of an overhead because of the challenges of getting the supplies to them at those remote islands.
Yes, ma'am.
And then once the supplies get to the island, getting it to them in their remote communities.
No, you got some issues. I agree with that.
So, to say that this person, even though we don't know who the voice is not credible, I don't know if I would go that far. Like I said, that voice note perhaps was sent between persons who know each other, and somehow it went public.
Yes, ma'am.
So it's not to say that somebody was trying to hide behind not saying their name. But I don't personally have any reason to believe that what was expressed in that voice note was not credible, and that's why I played it.
No, that's your right as an individual. I'm not even questioning that.
Right.
What I'm questioned about is the fact that people say so many things, Ms. Malcolm,
Mm-hmm.
even write some things, Ms. Malcolm, even record some things, Ms. Malcolm, and it just sits out there in the public. And this is where the confusion comes in.
Mm-hmm.
Because the public doesn't know who is who. Ms. Malcolm might know that that's the case because you might be in a position to know. That's fine. But the average person in Dane Town, the woman with the 5 boys, the man in Foxton with the 6 girls, the woman in Engliston with the 4 disabled children, how does she know? We even forget the quality of the people we have out there, that we have a responsibility to give them accurate and precise information. Not gossip, not rumor, not hearsay. That's why we have so much confusion even among the common people. And so when I speak publicly, I want to be as credible as I possibly can. If I am not credible, then I keep my mouth shut. Because I ain't going to say nothing to you if I'm sure that's how it goes. So we need to do our homework. And I'm not knocking the person for making the comment. I'm just simply saying credibility. Identifying, if you say that's what it is, then identify with it. But just throwing it out, but don't identify with it. You just like you behind the wall say, and you throw the rock and you duck down, say, who threw the rock? No, it is you throw the rock. And then somebody else who might be passing by get blamed for it because they saw it come from the direction where you were walking. And so they accuse you. You see what I'm saying, Ms. Malcolm? I have a problem with that. But I just wanted to get that in. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much for calling, Professor. Telephone numbers to call 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272, and the WhatsApp line for text messages only is 8010271, 8010271. Now, as I would have said, the Chamber of Commerce has issued a statement. Let's see if I can pull that up and read that to you guys. But I think we have another caller. Yeah, caller, welcome to GPS.
Good afternoon, Michelle. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm okay. Michelle, while we're basically, I guess they're arguing over these pharmaceuticals or the pharmaceutical businesses like shutting down because they wanted to negotiate with government. Michelle, I think I got something more important to say than that. You know, when you're driving down Bay Street, right, and you have raw soup in the middle of the road pumping out a manhole over a week ago, over 1,000 feet, you almost reached to the Blue Bridge. I mean, we can't smell it, we can't see it. People have to walk in the middle of the road. To, I mean, it's atrocious. I mean, they worry about the medicine, right? I worry about people catching cholera now because they're full of cholera. I mean, a responsible government needs to deal with that. It's over a week, and I talk about pumping on the ground and things. The road is flooded with sewer, nanny water, shit water. Sorry about that.
Watch your language, please.
No, but sorry about that. But you know, that's the only way they can understand what it is. They can do something to tell people start getting sick. But that's all I call to say. And,
yeah, thanks for calling.
You enjoy it.
Thing is, you better strengthen your immune system because if you do get sick and this continues, dog, eat your lunch. You can't get your medication. So, again, this is why I have been preaching, get your people healthier. We should not be so reliant on big pharma, pharmaceutical industry to keep your people out the hospital or out whatever. There's no reason. And many of these conditions that people have been relying on for decades can easily be reversed by simply changing lifestyle and getting some adequate nutrition in your bodies. Easily could be reversed. Chronic high blood pressure, one of the easiest things in the world to fix. Easy fix. But you have to be in a position where you make a decision that you're going to do what you need to do in terms of keeping yourself healthy. As I said on my show yesterday, knowledge isn't power. Applied knowledge is. Now, a lot of the people walking around are sick because they don't have the knowledge of how to make themselves better, and they think their only hope is the pharmaceuticals, and that's just not true, but that is what they're being fed, and they're, accepting that narrative, hook, line, and sinker. But there are others who know better. They know that what they are doing is harming their health, and they're doing it anyway. So what do you do? But in a situation like now, maybe you understand why eating that particular food isn't worth you having to rely on these medications because, God forbid, what if this impasse goes on for a long time? Then what are you going to do? So this is why we need to stop playing games with our health and do everything within our power to get healthier. Because you shouldn't be in a position where anybody or any entity can hold you hostage by shutting down their doors. Do we have a caller? Jason? No? Okay. Let me read this statement from the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce. Bahamas Chamber of Commerce and Employers Confederation press statement on consultation, an essential prerequisite to the smooth and equitable adoption of new policies. The government of the Bahamas has recently announced a series of policy changes increasing the already high cost of doing business in our country, namely substantial BPL rate hikes, increase in minimum wage taking effect January 1, 2023, and the new price control measures. These decisions are set to have deleterious impacts on the business community, which is still dealing with the inflationary effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. It is the BCCEC's considered view that businesses ought to be able to benefit from the principles of free enterprise and, as such, ought to be able to set profit margins commensurate with their cost to produce goods and services in order to operate and meet monthly expenses. The BCCEC stands with the Retail Grocers Association, Bahamas Hotel and Tourism Association, Bahamas Pharmaceutical Association, and others in their efforts to work with the government in finding a suitable and workable path forward. These industry and trade associations have been vocal on issues impacting their members, many of whom are also members of the BCCEC. The BCCEC has long believed in and continues to advocate for meaningful and robust consultation between the government and the business community. Such consultation is an essential prerequisite to the smooth and equitable adoption of new policies, allowing businesses enough time for implementation and facilitating easier consumer adoption. Most of the BCCEC members, though not directly impacted by the recent announcement on price control measures, will be directly impacted by increases in the cost of labor and energy. Significant policy shifts which impact businesses ought to be made after substantive consultation with the business community, with a particular emphasis on the industries and sectors most impacted. As always, the BCCEC stands willing and able to offer our support in the collective effort toward finding sustainable and comprehensive solutions that move our business community and country forward. That is a statement from the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce just a few moments ago. Now, someone brought up a very interesting point. They said the PLP and the FNM ain't no different, which is an interesting point. When one considers that all too often we see where decisions are made without consultation. One of them I can think of is a decision to increase VAT across the board after having promised in the run-up to elections that, VAT was something that should not have been implemented on the people, etc. And we're going to do away with VAT. And then you turn around and you raise VAT because you get in there and you realize that the government needs that money to operate. I say that to say that this unfortunately happens more often than it should, where these decisions are made at the government level without adequate, if any, consultation with the business community. And at the end of the day, we see fallout. Now, it doesn't always end in businesses shutting their doors, whether temporary or otherwise. But there is fallout for every single time. Is it realistic, though, to expect a government, every time it needs to make a decision, to have to go and consult? Would that put the government in a position where they can't get anything done? Because they're constantly consulting? Or is this consultation necessary, particularly in times of economic hardship, to avoid the small man or the regular man being hurt in the long run when we see matters come to a head as they have without consultation? These are some of the things that we need to question in this whole scenario. And could it be that successive administrations are wary or reluctant to make these kinds of tough decisions when it comes to certain industries because of who owns those industries? I can drop that right there and leave that right there, because I know the listeners and viewers of GPS are smart people, and you all know just what I'm trying to say without me having to spell it out. But there are some industries in this country, some sectors in this country, that successive administrations have been apparently scared to deal with. And you have to question why that is. Why do these people have so much power and control over those that we have elected to work on our behalf? I want you to think about that. We're going to take a break. And on the other side of the break, we're going to continue this conversation about this conundrum we find ourselves in, where the pharmacies have closed their doors. They say temporarily they want an audience at the PM, and they playing hardball. And now we see where the government coming back playing hardball too. Challenge is, who's stuck in the middle? We'll be back after these words of my sponsors.
Your body's immune system is under constant pressure from things like stress, lack of exercise, and toxins in the environment. It's crucial to be proactive and support your immune system with the nutrients it needs to function effectively. But it's often hard to get these nutrients from food alone. Introducing fast-acting Zinc Plus Immune Support by Longevity. Unlike zinc-only supplements, Zinc Plus Immune Support builds on the proven power of zinc and adds complementary nutrients to give your immune system extra support. Vitamin D helps balance the effects of zinc, while our proprietary blend of natural fruit and root extracts provides the extra help your immune system needs to work against daily stressors. And we've included Longevity's exclusive plant-derived minerals to give your body the minerals it needs, but can't get from food alone. And because Zinc Plus Immune Support is delivered in a great-tasting, sugar-free, berry-flavored lozenge, it encourages quicker absorption of all these nutrients into your body. Zinc Plus Immune Support. Zinc plus the extra support your body needs to promote a healthy immune system. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for rims, paints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Tracklight, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires. Cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Blessed love.
It's gotten harder and harder to get your daily requirement of vital nutrients from food alone. Without additional vitamin and nutrient support, your health and well-being can suffer drastically. That's why Z Radical was specifically formulated. It combines a blend of antioxidant-rich vitamins, minerals, and botanicals with the protective powers of fucoidan to help fill the gaps from lack of nutrients in your foods. The core of Z-Radical is fucoidan, a naturally occurring polysaccharide that helps stimulate immune reaction, protecting you against inflammation and oxidative stress. We harvest this powerful mineral-rich nutrient from brown seaweed, harvested only from the world's most pristine ocean waters to ensure the purest quality. It's then extracted using cold process technology to ensure maximum levels of bioavailability. Then we add essential vitamins that help to protect your cardiovascular and nervous systems and are crucial for optimal immune and neurological function. Z-Radical also includes a proprietary blend of delicious antioxidant-rich fruits and berries. This great-tasting combination helps your body combat free radical imbalances that can contribute to a variety of degenerative conditions like arthritis and heart disease. Z-Radical. Experience the power of fucoidan with antioxidant-rich berries, 8 essential vitamins, and more to provide you with potent health benefits. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Welcome back to GPS, Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. Michelle Malcolm here. On this Hot Topic Tuesday, we're talking about the decision of the members of the Pharmaceutical Association of the Bahamas to close their pharmacy doors today with very little notice to the public. So if you ain't get your medication before they close today, dog, eat your lunch, you on your own. Now, all of the messages were identical. They said it's a temporary closure. And obviously, if they have been told that either you make these changes to your prices today or you face a fine, then it makes sense for them to close the doors if they don't agree with the price control measures, because if they stay open and try to sell their goods at the same old rate, they face the chance of getting fined. And from what we understand, it's a hefty fine. So here we find ourselves in the middle of this madness, where we, the public, once again, are the pawns in this chess game that's going on now between the Pharmaceutical Association members and the government. And from what I'm hearing, y'all, unless something breaks, the food stores may be following suit. So you would be wise if you can. And I'm not trying to cause any kind of stampede to the nearest food store, but you would be wise to try to make sure you have something in your house. That's all I'm saying. I've been trying to get a representative on the show, both from the Retailers Association, the Retail Grocers Association, and, well, you know, today was short notice. I know that the Pharmaceutical Association has been making the rounds elsewhere, but I wasn't able to get anybody on my show for today. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. But one thing I love about this show is on days like today, I hear from you guys. You are the one who is helping to steer the show. Your opinion is what matters most. The telephone numbers to call to express that opinion, 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272, and the WhatsApp line for text messages only, 801-0271, 801-0271. Let me go ahead and read a couple of your comments, and then I'd love to hear from you guys. So Veronique says, medicine is a critical necessity. If the government wants the prices to be lowered, maybe they need to step in and subsidize so these essential businesses can stay operational. And where they can get that money from, Veronique? I don't think y'all understand how close to a financial cliff we are. Where they can get that money from to subsidize a private business? Not going to happen. Okay, so Bits Bahamas says, haven't seen anything yet. There's more to come, and I'm not talking about what's happening now. Hefty fees being implemented on businesses. Veronique says, if these governments can give these foreign hotel owners concessions, why can't they do the same for medical supplies, make medicine exempt from duty and VAT? Okay. Charles says, yes, and kudos to the government. The chamber wants to keep people in, I think you meant to say, I don't know, penury. Is that a word? Okay. Free market is a dying philosophy. The new concept is progressive and sensitive capitalism. Beck says, let them close. They lose. No, Beck, sick people lose. That's who's losing. Charles says, do you not think the government has already done actuarial studies to know what the real price and operational cost is before imposing that mandate? I don't know. I would hope that they did, but I can't say with 100% certainty. And maybe if they would have sat down with the folks, or at least responded to their submissions to say, we have received your recommendations and we're taking them into consideration, maybe it wouldn't have come to this. But again, does the government have to consult for every decision that they make? Is that the best approach? So somebody just sent a WhatsApp message saying, take the subsidized money from the private schools. Okay. Telephone numbers to call 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272. WhatsApp line 8010271, 8010271. Because of the fact that we're talking about such a necessary service, it's like when the nurses or the doctors decide to withdraw their services. That's what you call an essential service. And so normally that gets the attention of the relevant ministries, relevant department heads, relevant agencies to sit down and talk, because you can't afford to have people withdrawing essential services, especially in the healthcare industry in this country where we have so many sick people. So this is a very serious matter. We have a caller? Yeah. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Hello.
Hi, you on the air?
Hi, Michelle. Yeah, you're breaking from my end, but I just saw this notice came in from Doctors Live. This news. I think they may be open to the public. Doctors Hospital.
I did see
You can
somewhere
check
that
it.
Doctors Hospital Clinic was open. They're directing people to government clinics, but I did see somewhere that Doctors Hospital pharmacy was open. I did see that somewhere.
Yeah, so that would be, just to make note, just in case people are really in dire needs.
Mhm.
He says for emergency purposes, or that good, which would be good for persons who really need the medications.
Yeah,
just wanted to
and not
mention
just
that,
doctors, but government clinics are open as well.
yes, just in case they don't have, because a lot of times they don't have what people patients really need
This is
sometimes.
true.
I just wanted to make note to you. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for calling. I am not sure. Somebody sent a message saying Lowe's is open. I don't know that to be the case. If so, which Lowe's? I don't know. But again, this just shows people why you need to take better care of yourself, because this kind of thing could happen again. We don't know how long they're going to hold out. We don't know if the government is going to continue to respond with a strong arm and say, no, we're not going to be bullied into meeting with y'all so y'all could afford a close. We don't know how long this is going to go on. So you have to be smart enough to put yourself in a position where you don't have to rely on something that someone else has control over. Because when you put yourself in that position, and I'm not just talking about you as an individual, I'm talking about our government agencies, that person is master over you. Right now, for, all intents and purposes, the wholesaler who's bringing in medications into this country has a very strong position to be in a very strong position. Because if they decide at the end of the day, okay, all right, you ain't want to respond, you ain't want to meet with us, we shutting this whole thing down. Now, what you can tell all them sick people you got out there who relying on us to survive, what you can tell them, you want to harden up your mouth and you ain't want to come talk with us, okay then. You can see right now, like we say in the Bahamas, you can see what right now why lobster red. You can see right now. We should never allow ourselves, whether it's as an administration of a government or as an individual, to allow anyone to have that kind of control over us. Because now you are at their mercy. Because quite frankly, I don't know that the government clinics are able to handle all of the persons who are in need of medication who often take advantage of the private facilities. I don't know if the government is able to handle all of that. The government run facilities. So for those who it cannot serve, what happens to them? What happens to them? This is a very, very serious position to be in. Do I agree that the pharmacy and pharmacy should have closed their doors like this? No. And I don't agree with it because of the fact that there are so many innocent people who could be harmed by this. They are an essential service. That being said, though, I understand why they felt it necessary to do this. This is a chess game. And in the game of chess, you're going to lose some pawns. But at the end of the day, you could sacrifice a pawn for a greater good, for what you believe to be a greater good. So in this case, there's the sick people out there who are the pawns in this chess game, and some of y'all may be sacrificed. God forbid. I hope we don't hear any stories of somebody actually losing their life because they couldn't access their medication in time because of these closures. I pray to God it doesn't happen, but it is very possible that it could. So is the approach that that person who could potentially lose their life is expendable for the greater good? All I know is you better make sure you ain't up on. It's a serious thing. The telephone number is to call 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272, and the WhatsApp line 8010271, 8010271. Now you understand why it is kind of crazy to be talking about I'm a well-managed diabetic. You don't want to be a well-managed sick person. You won't be healthy. And now hopefully this will help you to understand the importance of that. Okay, let's see what else we have here. Rugawang says they should put on their yellow or red apparel to get service. You see, that's a serious point because, again, we are so polarized in this country. We are so separated when it comes to politics. But now, no matter what color shirt you wear, you go to the door lock. Rugawang, this is a very valid and poignant point that you're making. Your political affiliation right now means nothing if you can't access the medication that you need. It means absolutely nothing. And, I honestly believe that it's really just the poor and middle class who will be impacted by this more so than even the more affluent Bahamians, because the more affluent Bahamians have a way to get what they want. So even if that means them calling up their friends who own the pharmacy and say, look here, I support y'all, but you need to be bringing me some of this. They can get what they need. It's the rest of y'all who ain't got them kind of connections who need to be concerned right now. Let's see. We have something coming in here. Somebody sent a message saying the Honorable First Prime Minister said the health of the nation is the wealth of the nation. Well, Bahamas must be very poor if that is the truth, because we are a very sick nation. And this again only shows why it is important for you not to rely on being a well-managed sick person. Some people take the lazy way out and they figure, well, as long as I can get my medication, I just gotta, keep taking my medication and I can continue to do what I want to. As long as I have that pill to pop, I should be okay. Well, what if you don't have the pill to pop? So the telephone numbers to call 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272, and the WhatsApp line to send us a text message, if you so desire, is 801-0271, 801-0271. We have one more break to take. So let's take that commercial break right now. And then on the other side, hopefully we'll hear from you guys on your thoughts. Well, it sounds like a caller coming in. Is that a call for the show? No? Okay. Yes or no? No. Okay. Let's take this break. And then when we come back, we'll continue to talk about this whole situation of the pharmacies closing their doors today. We'll talk more about it on the other side. Stay with us.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Longevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 hyperimmune egg powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your longevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for rims, tints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Tracklight, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires, cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Blessed love.
To stay healthy, it's crucial to make sure you get the nutrition you need every day. But it's difficult to get all your recommended vitamins and minerals from food alone. Even in the United States, 94% of people are deficient in at least one nutrient. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 by Longevity is a simple, convenient, and affordable way to help your body get the essential nutrients it needs. It's an advanced plant-driven multivitamin mineral complex that contains certified organic whole foods, trace minerals, and antioxidants. BTT 2.0 supports your body's natural defense system with a proprietary blend of energy-boosting and body-loving nutrients, plus prebiotics, probiotics, amino acids, and enzymes that support digestion. With an unusually high ORAC score of 8,000, you get even more antioxidants to help combat free radicals that can cause damage to your cells. But to get the most benefit and value from any multivitamin, your body must be able to break down the nutrients so you can fully absorb them. Otherwise, they'll just pass through your system without doing any good. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 was specially formulated with synergizing cofactors to ensure you get maximum nutrient absorption. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 is the easiest way to give your body the balance and complete daily vitamin mineral supplement it needs for optimal support of your overall health. To learn more, contact your longevity associate.
This portion of GPS is brought to you by Tiki Bikini Hut at Junkanoo Beach. Great food, cool tropical drinks, and family fun in the sun.
Back to you, won't talk about it. Welcome back to GPS, Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. Michelle Malcolm here, talking to Shelley Lewis on the sidelines about the latest in this situation. She was at the office of the Prime Minister today and had an opportunity to interview Shantae McBride. Shantae is the first name, right? Shantae McBride, who is the president of the Bahamas Pharmaceutical Association, while she was at the Prime Minister's office. So obviously, Shelley is preparing that interview for Global Network News. I've been trying to reach Ms. McBride all morning, but I haven't been successful in reaching her. So make sure you tune into Global News. Or Shelley, you want to give us a brief overview of what she had to say?
Well, Michelle, with the association, a number of them had gathered at the Prime Minister's office this morning, and after closing their respective stores. And what the association was saying was that they didn't really close the stores as a protest against what government is doing.
Okay.
They closed because they didn't want to be in breach of the act.
They don't want to be fined.
They didn't want to be fined.
Okay.
And they want to clarify that. It was no demonstration or protest. They were down there from 8 o'clock this morning to have an audience with the Prime Minister so they can resolve some of the outstanding issues. Now, according to McBride, they met with Malkitas sometime, I think it was Tuesday, with the hopes of being able to go and present them with alternative measures to the government's expanded price control list, which included medication. 2 days later, she's saying that he came back saying they are enforcing the amended list.
Okay.
So which meant that the consultation, whatever proposal they had, was seemingly out
rejected.
of the door, rejected because government was moving forward with what they had planned to do.
Okay.
And after that, Alcides, who was also present for a cabinet briefing this morning, spoke to the media, and he said, it's been back and forth for the past 3 weeks, and it was only a 3 months temporary um, procedure that they were implementing. It's more like a test run to see how this is going to pan out. And he's saying it was only temporary, and they've been back and forth for the past 3 weeks, and they've lost enough time.
So there was consultation then?
No, there was a meeting where they had suggested that just the same as the Prime Minister offered the Retailers Association, as they go and come up with an alternative measure to
Right.
the price control list.
So they submitted the alternatives, but
what they did when they submitted the alternatives, the decision was already made to move forward and enforce the yeah. So it left them like, where do we turn next? She said they tried every means of getting an audience with the Prime Minister, but their position is that the government is hell bent on moving forward. Today was the deadline. Today is the implementation of those expanded price list. So we asked a meeting with the Prime Minister at this time. Would it mean anything? Because Alcides is already saying, look, today is the day we enforce the amended list.
Right. So how long do you think this is going to go on?
That was another question. And I think they're being very guarded in terms of how they approach it, and they're not the experienced association like the unions who every year they come forth with contract.
Right.
These are merchants who operate businesses on every day, and they don't come up against these sort of resistance. And it appears as if they didn't really have a set plan as to moving forward in terms of what to do. But the thing is, they already enforce. And Alcides said there will be penalties for lack of enforcement, but they won't come down harsh on them, considering everything that's happening.
Because if I've already brought a product at a particular price,
right,
and I have not had an opportunity to sell that product at the markup I wish based on the price that I bought it,
right,
and then you come and you say, your markup decreases as of today, and if you don't drop the price, then I fine you.
Exactly.
That put me in an awkward because I already paid for a certain amount for that particular product.
And they've already factored in all the overhead expenses.
Right.
And you look at everything that has gone up. And I was listening to a lady earlier outlining everything that has gone up, and this is affecting their bottom line because nobody goes into business
to lose money.
To lose money or to say they're in business.
Right.
And they also mentioned the fact that, look, we are the contributors of medication for government. We supply government, we supply the health plan, and they have a markup on that. So when you reduce our margin, you're affecting the bottom line, you're affecting operational expenses and everything. So all they were asking is to come to the table and let's trash it out, consult with each other. They're the persons in business, and find the best solution to this ongoing problem. Because one of the things, and I was at press briefing on Friday, and one of my concerns, I put a question to Watson, and I'm going to say Watson is not always the best person to answer those questions. And I said to him, can you have the minister confirm whether there has been a drastic increase in medication and whether there's a shortage of vital medication at the hospital? Well, it was brushed aside.
Because they had no answer.
Yeah, but sometimes it's how you answer questions that still make you come across as if, at least you're aware of what's going on in this country. And now today, unfortunately, I was late in getting to briefing. The minister announces that there's been a slight increase in medication. And I know you're going to use this as the opportunity to promote your health. But the thing is, I went to the hospital pharmacy last week.
Right.
There is a medication that I take, and I was paying $4.95 for it 3 weeks ago. And I went to fill it last week Friday, and it's now $28.89.
Wow. From 4 something?
From $4.95.
Wow.
To $28.95. And the reason why I go to the hospital clinic, because it was cheaper and less expensive at the hospital clinic. Now I'm paying almost $30 for a $5 medication.
Child.
So these are some of the things you got to look at. And when you look at, you got to strike a balance. What the government is trying to do is saying it's easing the pressure on the back of the Bahamians.
Right.
The retailers, the operators, they're trying to make the profit. And who's hurting?
Us. No. Y'all who on medication.
I know you were going to say that. And you know something, Michelle and I, we were on our way listening, and she made a vital point. I know we're running to 4 o'clock. She said, you know something who's benefiting the most? The government, because every time somebody purchases something in this country, the government ain't getting no 10%. The government is not getting 10%.
Mm-hmm.
The government is getting almost 40 to 50%. Because when you heard the lady say, when they purchase their medication, their supplies from the wholesalers, they pay 10% to the wholesalers.
Mm-hmm.
The wholesalers pay 10% to the government. When that medication reaches people like me, the government would have already gotten almost 40%, because by the time that goes from one to the next, from the supplier in the U.S. When they bring it in, they pay VAT.
Right.
When they sell it to the retailers, they pay VAT.
The retailer
when
pays
the retailers
VAT.
Exactly. So and all of this VAT is going to the government. So at the end of the day, they're the biggest benefactors of what's going on in this country. And I personally feel that they can bear the brunt of some of these taxes until we can find some relief from this inflation, from me paying $5 to now $28 for one medication.
Wow.
So I can, back and forth, you can understand the merchants and the retailers, and you can still say, is government serious about easing our burden?
Well, when people say to me, and I tell them, you need to do some good quality nutrition, therapeutic nutrition. They're, oh, Michelle, that's so expensive. I say, pay now or pay later. Either you pay something up front to make sure you're healthy, or you pay more later.
But I'm going to also add to this.
Yeah.
There are some things that you cannot prevent. I came from a family, we carried a BRCA gene.
Mm-hmm.
I have 5 first cousins, including a niece who is only 29 with cancer.
But that doesn't mean that there are not some things that you can do to lessen your risk.
There are some things that they did, but it's hereditary.
No.
Yeah, the BRCA gene.
I hear what you're saying about that particular gene, but also hereditary are some behaviors.
Yes, there are
when
some
I say hereditary, it's cultural that have been passed down from generation to generation. That if you stop and if you encourage other things, when I say encourage, if you start to do other things like introduce more high quality micronutrients, then you lessen your risk.
Yeah, you lessen your risk, and the thing is, it's there. The gene is there. It's part of.
But that's not a guarantee. That's my point.
It's a large percentage guarantee that you will.
It means that you have a, what is the word I'm looking for?
Like you're a carrier. You
may have a what's the word I'm looking for? A propensity for, but it does not.
Yeah.
But it's not a guarantee.
It's not really a guarantee. But
there are some things that you can do.
All of them came from the medical
to improve your chances.
Every one of them practically came from the medical profession.
But that don't tell me nothing, Shelly, because the medical profession doesn't know anything about nutrition.
I'm telling you, especially my niece, very health conscious,
very
health conscious. But she ends up with it. And now they're on medication. And to say, yeah, we can now look to healthy lifestyles at this stage in their lives, and they're the first of every aunt and uncle. They're the first child, the first female child.
That doesn't mean that there are some other approaches.
I know there are, but what I'm saying at this stage, when we're looking at the cost of medicine now and what's going on today, they're in the position that they don't have that choice at this stage. They are now faced with high cost of medication.
But my point is, Shelley,
I know what your point, and
and
you're
this
going to
is what
stress it
people
even.
continue to
And you're
miss.
going to stress it even
And
more
this is
tomorrow.
why we continue to have
and I'm
this
sure
problem.
tomorrow's show is going to be a spin-off from today.
Well, it might as well be.
The pharmaceuticals.
Because people aren't getting the message.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
I think they're getting
Well,
it.
they're getting it now. Now that these shops doors closed.
Listen here, I was following social media and some of the groups that I'm in, and I was hearing the stories of persons going to the pharmacies or going to the hospital clinic because government used that as an alternative to the closure of the pharmacies today. And they're like, wow, the price of this, and I thought I'm only me one, and I had a little exchange with one of the workers at the pharmacy, and I'm like, Miss, is this right?
Again, the point
so
is that there is an alternative.
Yes, there is an alternative to everything, and that's what they were asking government, an
do.
alternative to what they're proposing or what they're trying to implement. There's always an alternative.
Yeah, but in the meantime, what you going to do for yourself? That's the point I'm trying to make.
Well, I know I have to make some adjustments.
Exactly. We like to take the easy way out, and I don't mean to be dismissive in any way. Oh, this runs in my family, but you're not taking into consideration.
No, I use that particular
some
one.
of the other things that you're doing that are controllable.
No, I just wanted to say there are some things like when you deal with cancer.
Yeah, you may have a predisposition to something, but that does not guarantee that you have to get that condition.
Well,
that's the point I'm trying to make. You make some changes, you do some things. It's no guarantee, even if you have a predisposition to something.
Well, at least you're at a higher risk.
Yeah, which is all the more reason why you need to make some changes.
Well, to some extent.
Because if you're continuing, for instance, to eat fried foods.
Who?
I know I just mashed on, right?
Who, Jason?
Anybody. If you have a situation where you have a predisposition to cancer, but you continue to eat fried foods, you're welcoming that cancer to come into your life. Because fried foods is one of the things that can lead to cancer. So even though you may have a gene, a predisposition, you also have, and I'm not saying you, Shelley Lewis, I'm speaking in general.
Understood.
You also have some bad habits that need to change. And if you don't change those bad habits and you don't introduce proper nutrition, then you're pushing yourself towards that predisposition to manifest into disease. That's all I'm saying.
Understood.
And that is a message that we're not getting out sufficiently.
And you're going to continue to push that.
Boy, tomorrow, y'all don't miss tomorrow's show.
What is tomorrow, Wednesday?
Like you say, I can do a spin-off on this. Because people ain't, y'all ain't getting it.
I understand what you're saying, and I can appreciate very well what you're saying, because this story, this whole situation with the pharmaceuticals and the government making a decision to the price control and everything, and then the cost of living and everything, we haven't seen the worst of it yet. So perhaps.
Anyway, we gotta go. Music playing. People wising up here. Don't miss tomorrow's show. Don't miss tomorrow's show. Because clearly y'all need to get the message, and hopefully this will shake y'all up to the way y'all understand. This ain't no game. All right? So it's 4:00. Oh, a minute to 4. Gotta go. Shelley, thank you so much for giving us that update.
Yes, always.
Yes. And don't miss tomorrow's show. Tomorrow's Wellness Wednesday. And I ain't gonna be playing with y'all tomorrow. Because this right here shows you why you need to take care of matters into your own hands when it comes to your health. Until then, I'm Michelle Malcolm. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody.
So long.
And have a good afternoon.
Global 99.5 FM reminds our listeners that the views and opinions expressed on this show are those of